Hello guys and welcome to Supersoc Academy the Internet on YouTube. In this channel, as you know well, we are out to help the advanced level science students to attain the academic excellence and the academic goals by providing them with the correct and the time-saving approach to all GC questions as proposed by the GC board. In this video, we are looking at advanced level Northwest Mock 2024, the part 2, question 1, Roman 2 only. If you doubt what Norwenta means Northwest Mathematics Teacher Association. So if you are new in this channel, I will invite you to like, to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to not miss any of our videos subsequently uploaded, which is daily in this time around. So in this video, we are looking at the forbidden values for functions in Northwest Mock. So the question will show that for real values of x squared plus 2x minus 11 on x minus 3, where x is not equal to 3, just to recall you that x not equal to 3 is the domain of this function, cannot take any value between 4 and 12. Now, cannot take any value between 4 and 12. It means that we are required to find the range. Is like they ask us to find the range, and then that in between 4 and 12 is the opposite range or the odd range or the range that we don't want. So it's from there that we show that it cannot take value in between 4 and 12. So to find the range of the function, we let y to be that function, let y to be x squared plus 2x minus 11 or x minus 3. When I cross multiply, I will have y into x minus 3 is equals to x squared plus 2x minus 11. When I open out the bracket with y here, this is y, I open out the bracket, y times x is xy, so I'll get xy minus 3y is equals to x squared plus 2x minus 11. So from there I relate, or I bring all these terms here the other side of the equation. So I'll have what, when I bring xy the other side becomes negative, when I bring negative 3y becomes positive. So it means that I will have x squared plus 2x minus 11 minus this xy that has crossed my plus, in this case 3y is equals to 0. From there now I factor out the x. I'm going to have x squared plus 2 minus y, as you can see well, all into x plus 3y minus 11 is equals to 0. So from there I can now bring up my a, b and c, which is because a quadratic. A is 1 coefficient of x squared, b is 2 minus y coefficient of x, and c is 3y minus 11, which is the constant term. So now they say that what, for real values of x, we call that for real values of x, b squared minus 4ac is greater than or equals to 0. Okay, we have our b, which means that we are going to have x, that is 2 minus y squared, all squared, minus 4 into a is 1, c is 3y minus 1 is greater than or equals to 0. So we expand this, we'll get 2 minus y into 2 minus y because it's squared, so 2 times, minus, when we multiply this, we are going to get minus 12y plus 44 is greater than or equals to 0. So expanding this, we'll get 4 minus 2y minus 2y my plus y squared minus 12y plus 44, which has not changed, is greater than or equals to 0. Good. From there now, we'll see that when we simplify, we'll get x, or we'll get y squared minus 16y plus 48 is greater than or equals to 0. Now this is a quadratic equation in y in this case. Here was a quadratic equation in x. So now here's a quadratic equation in y. So from there now, it's a quadratic equation. I look for two factors of 48 that when I add them together, it will give me negative 16. And when I multiply them together, it will give me 48. And those two factors are nothing less than negative 4 and negative 12. Realize that negative 4 minus 12 is negative 16. And negative 4 times minus 12 is 48. So I have y squared minus 4y minus 12y plus 48 is greater than or equals to 0. So the first two terms here, y is common. It means I'm going to get y into y minus 4 first. That's how you factorize quadratic. You have y into y minus 4, what is common. You still rewrite the y minus 4, and then you write back the other factor, which is negative 12, then it's greater than or equals to 0. So you see that y minus 4 is common here and here, so it means I'm going to get y minus 4 into y minus 12 is greater than or equals to 0. Now y minus 4 equals to 0 implies that y is equals to 4. Y minus 12 is equals to 0 implies that y is equals to 12. So it means that now these are not the values of y, because it is inequality. Okay, so this one are just the critical values or the bounds. Critical values or the bounds. So we have the critical values. After having the critical value for sign diagram, or you see inequality, always have to have the sign diagram. Okay, so the sign diagram, first we have our diagram like this. We have the first um, first bound, I'll say. So you'll be first of all write like the factors. I would like to say that y minus 4, y minus 12, then y minus 4 times y minus 12. Now the first one is y less than or equals to 4. The value of y that is less than or equals to 4 is, for example, 3. You replace 3 here. 3 minus 4 is negative 1, so it's negative. Now it is the sign diagram, so we are not concerned with your values but only the sign. 3 minus 4 is negative 1, so it's negative. 3 minus 12 is negative. Negative times negative, as you can see here, negative times negative is positive. Now the next boundary is from 4 to 12, in between 4 and 12, because remember the critical values, in between 4 and 12. So in between the numbers of y in between 4 and 12, you can have any number. Don't go far. 5, for example. 5 minus 4 is 1, is positive. 5 minus 12 is negative 7, is negative. Negative, positive times negative is negative. So now the next boundary is y greater than or equals to 12. You don't go fast till you take 13. For example, 13 minus 4 is positive. 13 minus 12 is positive, then positive is positive. Now if we were asked to find the range of this function, the range of values of x for this function, then we're supposed to have what? This range and this range to be the range asked, because the sign of the inequality is what? Greater than or equals to 0, to be well noted. But now since they say that tag, they say show that it cannot take any value between 4 and 12. You see that from the sign diagram here, the sign of the inequality, or the sign of this boundary is negative. Meanwhile the sign of the inequality is positive. So it means that from our sign diagram, we have that the function cannot take value between 4 and 12, simply because it has a negative range, but the sign of our inequality is greater than 0, so it has to be positive. Now in turn, the range of this function is what? Y less than 4 and y greater than or equals to 12, because it has positive ranges. So and we are looking for what is greater than 0. So guys, we have come to the end of this video, and if the video is interesting to you, I'll invite you to like, subscribe and share the video to your friends, for them to also be able to attain academic excellence. And don't forget that you can always give your question in the comment section, so for us to know which next video to produce. And don't forget that in science, consistency